All right, y'all, what's happening? Y'all know who it is, Mark Fuller, TeamAlliance. So this is going to be the fourth episode of the Wealth Creation series. Fourth episode. And I'm going to build and all right, let me pivot from the last video that I did, which was in the personal finance series. There's something that I said during the video about paying yourself first. And I want to delve into that as far as how you apply that when building your wealth. So, building your foundation for wealth creation. That'll be what this video is focusing on. Building your foundation. How to build your foundation for wealth creation. You have to start. And what I mean by that is you have to begin the actual process of setting aside money on a consistent basis. However often that's going to be, whether it's every week, whether it's every 2 weeks, whether it's every month. You might want to align your consistency or your schedule with when you actually get your paycheck. So, you know, that's every week or every 2 weeks. For some of you, maybe every month, however often it is that you get paid. The number one thing that you have to discipline yourself to begin doing is to set aside money first. Because in essence, what you're doing is you're paying yourself first. You want to pay yourself first because you're the one building your wealth. You are the one that is putting money to the side. And this is what I mentioned in the last video for the personal finance series. If you look at the money that you put aside, the same way that you look at how you pay your bills, you will do it and you will stick to it. Because the same way that you pay your bills each month, you want to pay your bills, you know, you pay your bills first, basically. You pay your bills, and then whatever is left over, that's what you have to use for disposable income, however it is that you do it. There are more efficient ways that I'm going to get into as the personal finance series continues to develop, as far as credit goes. Now, I'm not going to talk about that in this video. This video, I want to focus on what you must do in order to build the foundation for creating your wealth. What you must do is you must set aside money first, meaning as soon as you get your paycheck, you need to set aside whatever the amount is immediately before you even pay bills. Some of you are like, oh, I can't afford to do that. You can't afford not to do it. Because if you don't do that, you'll never get to the point, or there'll never come a time where you feel that you've reached that point where you now can begin to invest, or you now can begin to build your wealth. And I'm going to prove it to you. So many of you will say, oh, well, I'm in debt though. Shouldn't I pay my debt off first? Yes, you should be paying your debt off. Yes, you should have a plan for paying your debts down. Absolutely. But this is an entire process that has to take place. It's not just as easy as, okay, well, I'm going to take X amount and I'm going to apply it to this card, and I'm going to do that each month until that one's paid off. In addition to you paying your debts down, you also have to adjust your spending. You have to adjust what you're spending money on. This is one of the first things that I talked about in one of the earliest videos that I did for I don't even remember which series it was for. It was either for wealth creation or for personal finance. I don't even remember. It doesn't matter because they're intertwined and they intermingle, and they are to be used together anyway. But what I talked about was the 50-50 rule, like 50%. Basically, whatever you're spending now on certain things. Some of you have habits. You like to vape. You like buying beers. You like to drink. Whatever you like to spend your money on. Some of you like to gamble. Cut that in half and take half of that and begin to create your wealth using that money. Now, these are all to be incorporated into this ideology of you paying yourself first. Because if you think about it, what's the first thing that the majority of people are going to do when it comes to spending money on something that they want? They're going to get paid. They're going to take money immediately and they're going to go buy their weed. They're going to go buy their vape. They're going to go buy their beer. They're going to go buy their cigarettes, right? You buying your cigarettes and your beer and your vape and your weed and all of that shit before you pay your bills, ain't you? You make sure you set that money aside, don't you? Okay. So if you do that with your bad habits, or I'm not even going to call them bad habits. They're your habits, whatever they are. If you're doing that with your habits, then by you cutting that amount in half, you're now paying yourself first. Again, you see what I'm doing. I just told you a moment ago that this is all intermingled and this is all to be applied, not just as ideology, but you have to execute on it. So again, when you get paid, you need to be paying yourself first. How? How do you do that? Well, you can start with cutting the amount in half that you spend on bullshit. Let's start there. And if you cut that amount in half, now you got half going into building your wealth, and the other half is you spending on your bullshit. Problem solved for the most part. So the principle still remains the same. It's still about you paying yourself first. It's still about you setting aside money first before you pay bills. Now, you're already doing that because you're already going and spending money as soon as you get paid on the bullshit that you want to spend money on before you pay your bills anyway, aren't you? See, you're doing it already. So all you're doing now is you're adjusting, you're tweaking how you do it. So instead of you taking all of that money, you cut it in half and you take half of that money. Half that money now goes to building wealth. The other half you spend as you see fit. And this is how you implement this into your existing way of doing things. So I'm not really telling you to do anything new. I'm telling you to adjust what you're already doing so that you now can compartmentalize where your funds are being distributed and how you're putting money in different places, because the majority of people are just basically getting paid, paying their bills, spending money on a bunch of bullshit that they don't really need, but that they want. It is what it is. Going out to eat, overspending at the grocery store, overspending when you go out to eat, going out buying drinks, right? Going out enjoying yourself. Oh, well, life is too short. You got to enjoy yourself. Of course you do. And I'm not saying not to. What I'm saying is to cut the amount that you're spending in half on doing those things. That's what I'm saying. So instead of overspending, you budget however much you want to spend, right? And you stick to the budget. Start there. How about you take what you were going to spend and you cut that in half, and there goes you paying yourself first, and you still have money to use for whatever it is that you want to do. You just do it half as often. You're just doing half as much of it. but you're not doing anything else. You're just adjusting what you're currently doing so that you now can appropriate funds to build wealth and create wealth and build that foundation for yourself. Because the majority of you are not doing that. And understand that when, some of you are investing in your 401k and, you got your money going into your 401k, I suggest you max your 401k out. Especially if you get a company match. If your employer matches, up to a certain percentage, make sure that you're contributing the full amount to get the full match, because that's free money that they're giving you. That's free money that's going into your 401k to build up your 401k or whatever type of retirement account it is that you have at your job or through your employer. Definitely do that. But in addition to that, you also want to intentionally create wealth. And again, I'll go back to previous episodes of the wealth creation series. How do you create wealth? Crypto. See, you can't invest in crypto in your 401k. And by the time you will be able to invest in crypto, it'll be Bitcoin and Ethereum, because those are the ETFs that are going to be made available first. Well, I believe that Bitcoin is already out there, and the Ethereum ETFs, they're still working on actually, putting them out there for people to invest in. So you'll have access to Bitcoin and to Ethereum first. But we know, if you keep up with the series, you'll know and understand that there are better cryptos out here that are available for you to invest in. And I mean, it's not even really investing in it. It's really a wealth transfer that's taking place. I'm saying investing just so that you guys understand that you're actually putting money into it. But what you're really doing is you're taking your money out of the worthless US dollar and you're shifting it into an actual class of finance that is going to increase in value as a result of the dollar decreasing in value. And I spoke on this. See, like, you have to understand monetary policy. You have to understand how money printing works. The government prints money every day. The national debt, I don't know why people talk about, they need to, pay down the national the national debt. They will never pay it down. You will always see that number going up. Why? Because they will always be printing more money. Period. How much they're printing is just the only variable. How fast they're printing is just the only variable. But they're going to be printing money forever. And what that is doing is it's diluting the value of our existing dollars. So that monetary value has to go somewhere. Where does it go? It goes into the prices. The prices of everything keep going up. Why do you think bread and eggs and cereal and shit like that has always gone up in price? Milk. Why do these things always go up in price? It's not because it's better milk. It's the same damn milk, same damn eggs, same bread. But why are the prices up? Why is the price of food going up all the time? This is why. It's hidden. See, you don't understand that it's a numbers thing. It's mathematical. They can't just print money and it don't go nowhere. They print money and it does go somewhere. It raises the value. It raises the prices, not the value really, because it's the same shit that we buying. They haven't become, bread is not more valuable. That's not why the price is going up. Eggs are not more valuable. Huh? The only way that something becomes more valuable is if it becomes more scarce. If there's less of it, then it will become more valuable, because that is how the price or the demand of whatever that item is goes up, which ultimately increases the value because people want it and there's less of it available. So that's the other mechanism mathematically that's built into how prices rise. So the price of something will go up one of two ways. Either they're printing money and it's increasing the prices of things, or you have something that people want that there's less available of. This is how the prices of things go up. So I'll use a perfect example, real estate. How does the entire real estate market go through these market cycles? It's supply and demand. There comes times when there's a lot of supply, meaning that there is a lot of houses that are available for people to buy, but the demand is not there. Okay, so the prices of those things have to come down to make it more attractive to people that are interested in buying. If people are not interested in buying, you can't keep the prices at the prices that they are, so the prices go down. The prices have to inevitably come down because supply and demand is like a scale, you see? So real estate has that mechanism built in, but real estate also increases in price over time from money printing. The same way that everything else does in the economy. Every product that you buy, cars, clothes, food, all of these things go up in price because of monetary inflation. The more money that they print, the less valuable our dollars are. How is it less valuable? Well, because we are buying less things with the same dollars. Because the prices of things are higher. So that means we're paying more. We're getting less. So that means that the same dollar that you're earning at your job is worth less. It becomes worth less because they keep printing more of these dollars. The more of these dollars that become available, the less valuable the actual dollar is. And that's why you see prices going up. You got to pay attention to these videos. Like the information that I'm sharing with you is the way that money works. And the majority of people don't have a clue. They're just using their credit cards, spending money. Everything is instant gratification. They don't want to delay gratification on nothing. So what they do, they run up their credit cards. They're not budgeting. They're not living within their means. They ain't doing none of that shit. They are running up their cards. That's what people are doing. Taking trips, traveling, and getting miles on their cards. They make sure that they get cards that they can get miles with. This is what people are doing. And what's happening in the process of everyone doing this is you're not ultimately creating wealth long term because you're not benefiting from anything that is going to increase in value long term because that's not where you're putting your money. You put your money basically into buying shit. That's where your money goes. And because you always want to buy stuff, you're not creating wealth at all. It is what it is. So these principles that I'm sharing with you, this is how you have to go about thinking about these things. Just like I mentioned earlier in this video. When it comes to building wealth, you have to treat putting money aside first the same way that you treat bills. And like I said, a lot of y'all are doing it anyway because you're going to go and buy your weed and buy your bullshit and gamble and your alcohol money and your beer money. You're going to be doing that anyway. So you might as well cut that in half and now use that other half to pay yourself first. Use that other half to now begin building the foundation to create wealth for yourself. You need to be putting that money straight into crypto. And you need to be putting that money straight into DeFi. If you don't know what those things are, go back into the earlier episodes of this series. And just listen to what I'm talking about as far as decentralized finance, real crypto. Listen to what I'm saying as far as how the monetary system works. I just talked about it a moment ago. They print money. It increases the prices of everything in the economy. Real estate, cars, clothes, food, everything goes up in price because they are printing money nonstop, and they always will. They're never going to stop printing more money. It's a part of the system. The national debt is never going down. They can barely balance their budgets in the government. They're trying to figure out how to pay for this and pay for that, and just how to pay the interest on the national debt. They're not paying the debt down. They're servicing the debt. You know what that means? Minimum payment. The government is making a minimum payment on the national debt. That's how the government pays. The same way that you make a minimum payment on your credit card. And the majority of it is interest. So just imagine that. It's all interest. It's a debt-based system. All right, that's enough of that. So anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up. So again, this is how you go about building your foundation. You got to pay yourself first. You have to set money aside first to create wealth. Before you pay bills, before you pay any bills, you need to be setting aside X amount each pay period. Each time that you get a check, every time you get paid, you should be paying yourself first and putting that into the foundation for creating wealth. That's what you need to be doing. That's how you do it. All right, y'all. So I'm out. You know what it is. Mark Fuller, TeamAlliance. So this is episode number 4, Wealth Creation Series. So personal finance series video should be coming after this one at some point in time. You know, these videos are all spread out because when I have time to do them, I do them, and that's it. All right, so yeah, stay tuned for the next one. I'll holler at you. Y'all know what it is. Mark Fuller, TeamAlliance. Love, peace, and soul. Deuces.